Welcome to Life After, a podcast for women to take you from feeling like you're just surviving to thriving, to creating a life you really love. Expect to discover tips and tricks to get there. Each episode will have actionable steps to empower you to make changes. I started this podcast because I've been through it all, from getting out of a marriage with a narcissist to completely rebuilding my life. And now I'm on a mission to help you too. You can change your life. It's absolutely possible. My idea of Christmas, whether old-fashioned or modern, is very simple. Loving others. Bob Hope. We light candles in testament that faith makes miracles possible. Nachum Braverman. Christmas is a season not only of rejoicing, but of reflection. Winston Churchill. There are always two ways to live in a world that is often dark and full of tears. We can curse the darkness, or we can light a light. May we all help light up the world. Rabbi Jonathan Sacks. It's not what's under the Christmas tree that matters. It's who's around it. Charles M. Schultz. The spirit of Hanukkah, the festival of lights, is shared by all people who love freedom. Norma Simon. The holidays are supposed to be a magical time filled with joy and love and peace, right? And yet, how often do we feel stressed out instead? We are overspending, overeating, overextending, over everythinging. And then you add in the family you see once or twice a year with the uncomfortable, and especially now, conflict-ridden political discussions. It can be, well, yuck. Who wants to spend the most magical time of the year like that? In this episode, we are going to talk about holiday survival tips to keep this the most wonderful time of the year. It never fails. Every year, I think that this holiday season will be different. I'm going to be doing it better than years past. I'll get the tree up earlier. I'll add more lights. I'll do more decorating. Go to more parties. Be more festive. Get the Christmas cards out. Buy more and really more thoughtful gifts. Of course, this list could go on and on. The expectations of the holiday season are endless. It is so easy to second guess yourself and beat yourself up over the things you could have done or should have done differently, better, or more of. This season, how about we don't? This season, how about we do it differently? I'm going to give some tips and tricks to approach your holiday season differently so that you don't need a vacation by the end of it. First tip is to keep it chill at home. Our environment matters. And when things are chaotic and crazy at home, then that trickles into every other aspect of our lives. If you can, declutter in advance. Decluttering is tremendously helpful to our state of mind. Since you have to move things around anyway to put out holiday decorations and put up the tree, maybe put a few things away. Or even donate some things that maybe don't have space in your home or your life any longer. Are you finding yourself struggling in a relationship and wondering if you're dealing with a narcissist? You're not alone, and I've got a resource that can help. Get my 5 questions to confirm you're not the problem. This helps you identify the emotions associated with being in a controlling relationship. Just head over to locatecoaching.com free gift, and take the first step toward clarity and confidence in your relationships. This might feel challenging, especially if you are the one that normally does all the hosting. But the next tip is to ask for help, even if it's just asking for help within your family. For example, get the kids to help with getting ready. Even littles can help clean up. Remember, nothing has to be perfect. Done is better than perfect, always. So spread out those chores. Also, if you are hosting, let people bring food. Make it more potluck style. We did this for Thanksgiving this year. Everyone got to bring something. And yes, while I still had more prep work to do, sharing the cooking made the day much easier. And then everyone gets to feel like they contributed, which is really nice. Next tip is don't overcommit. I know. This one is so much easier said than done. It seems like between Thanksgiving and the end of the year, we try to cram in a year's worth of social engagements. Pick the ones that are most important to you. It's okay to not attend everything. Your sanity is more important than hitting every party. You really want to build in downtime. Even extroverts need a little downtime sometimes. With additional social engagements, you're also looking at needing more time to buy hostess gifts, prepare food to take to those social gatherings, travel time, staying on track with your regular routine. When you say yes to every party, all of those little extra pieces can add extra stress. So account for that extra time that each item will take outside of the party itself. When you do that, you won't be surprised by the total amount of time it takes to partake in each event you've agreed to go to. Also, if there's an event that you want to attend, but you're short on time, do a pop-by. You don't have to stay for the whole thing. Just be sure to connect with the host or hostess and spend your time intentionally with the people that are there that matter the most to you. My next tip is to say no. Now, that's not really the tip. The tip is don't feel bad about it. After our last tip about not overcommitting, it makes sense to have a tip to be able to say no in the first place. The key is not feeling bad or guilty about it. Some of us people pleasers out there really struggle with saying no, right? People pleasers, it's okay to say no. We can't be everything to everyone all the time and still be true to ourselves. Saying no comfortably sometimes means knowing what our limit is ahead of time, keeping an eye on our calendar or our schedule, and knowing when we're hitting our personal limit on busyness is really helpful. Also, keep some time open for the inevitable last-minute invitations. If you say yes to every single thing that you're invited to and that maybe you're a little iffy about wanting to go to, then you may miss out on something that comes up later that you really would have preferred to go to. If you're struggling to say no at first, then practice with maybe to start. Or reply by saying you'll try to make it. If a hard no is too challenging, then soften it to start with using these ideas of a maybe or that you'll try. Keep in mind how you will feel after you've said yes to all these events. This is another way to help you think about saying no, is to think about how you'll feel after you've said yes to all the events. Are you going to feel energized and happy that you've done them all, or tired and somewhat drained? If it's the latter, then you really have to plan ahead and pick which events where the better answer is that you aren't able to make it and let the host or hostess know. If you really do want to attend all the events you're invited to and know that it means that you've got a packed schedule and will have limited time, you can employ a strategy I used in grad school. I didn't want to be a total hermit, and so I asked my friends to keep inviting me to things, right? I didn't want to completely fall off the social map. So I would go to some events. However, when I got there, I set an alarm on my phone for 45 minutes. And when the alarm went off, I went home and got back to studying. So you could go to events, especially if you have events that are stacked, and you could set a timer and not stay for the entire event so that you can go to multiple events, even if they're on the same day. Finally, remember in those situations that feel particularly dodgy, where someone really wants you to come to something and they're not listening to you or respecting your boundary, please, please, please remember, no is a full sentence. While this is a tip I wholeheartedly believe in all year long, during the busy holiday season, I think it bears stressing a little extra. Well, I think it actually bears stressing a lot extra. And that is, be kind. Be kind not only to others, be kind especially to yourself. You don't have to be perfect. Your house doesn't have to be perfect. The decorations don't have to be perfect. The kids, they certainly don't have to be perfect. Your holiday season doesn't have to go perfectly. Nothing in life is perfect. We are beautifully, perfectly imperfect people. I so wish I'd learned that earlier in life. Being kind to yourself gives you the freedom to let go of any need for perfection and take a deep breath. Doesn't that already feel better? Know that when you are kind to yourself, you are modeling that behavior for those around you, especially your kids. And kids don't care about perfection at all. They care that you're around, that you're present in their lives. That's their best presents they could get, right? That you're actively involved with them. So don't make the most beautiful Christmas cookies for Santa while they're watching TV or playing on the Switch. Make cookies with them, with frosting all over the place. And then sit down on the couch and watch Elf or Miracle on 34th Street or whatever holiday movie is your favorite. Do it together. The dishes can get done tomorrow. And be kind to others. That fast food worker or grocery clerk, they've been on their feet all day, serving people who think they are less than, and in many cases have treated them that way. How much effort does it take to say thank you or happy holidays? Take the time to say a few kind words and even give them a tip. Because what's worse, in addition to the difficult job they are doing for low pay, they are also missing Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or New Year's with their family because we didn't plan ahead and buy whipped cream in time. There are so many people that we come across in our world that if we stop and look at them and give them kindness, it goes a long, long way. Now, when I originally thought about writing this podcast, I originally thought about doing it all about how to deal with narcissists during the holiday. And frankly, I leaned more towards this because, you know, when you have to deal with a narcissist in the holidays, narcissists are hard enough to deal with on a Tuesday in July, let alone at the holidays. And I really didn't want to give them that much energy. I really wanted to give you tips for ways for you to make this holiday season the best for you. And yet, I recognize for those of you who are experiencing holidays with a narcissist, oh man, I remember those days and they are impossible. So if you're in that place, I do have a couple of podcast episodes that are really narcissist specific. You can go back and listen to them. I really encourage you, reach out to me directly. If you're struggling with a narcissist in the next few weeks, please reach out to me because I can help you get through so that you can enjoy your holidays at least more than you would otherwise. All right. So finally, my last tip is to share your feelings. And this is both whether you're dealing with a narcissist or not. And ask for help if you need it. The holidays can be really stressful, a really stressful time of year. There's so much to do, so many places to go, extra things to show up for. It's also a time of year that many of us, whether you're an introvert, an extrovert, or for those of you that haven't ever heard this word, an ambivert, which is a combination of the two. I love that word. So it's a time of year that many of us long for quiet, reflective time. And as the year winds down, we really want to lean in to that reflective time, not just on how the year that has just passed went, but we want to take time to plan and look forward to our intentions for next year. And so to be going and going and going and busy, 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 busy can just add to that stress when you want to have time for reflection and planning and intent. So share how you're feeling, particularly if you're struggling with any of the things we've already talked about. Talk with a friend or a family member. Write about it. Writing is such an incredibly powerful way to process how we're feeling, and it's private and personal. So if you're not ready to share with anyone yet, writing is a fantastic way to process those feelings without having to share it, to be able to maintain your privacy. Remember, if you don't acknowledge those feelings, they will get bigger. Our feelings and emotions don't go away when we ignore or deny them. They grow. So if you aren't able to share them and writing isn't your thing, then I would really highly recommend you process them through movement. Get outside, walk in nature, do some meditation or yoga, walk the dog. Please do something. You don't want those feelings to sabotage your holiday season. One of the most beneficial things you can do during the holiday season is try to stick with your normal routine as much as possible. We thrive on routine and schedule. And while this may seem so boring, it does allow us to then enjoy the variety of the holidays when the rest of our lives we can maintain that routine. Keep up your exercise routine. That'll also help if you're feeling that kind of stress. Eat as healthily as possible. Get sleep more and more. The research is showing how critical sleep is to our overall health. Keep in mind the balance on your regular routine while sprinkling in the fun and joy of the holidays, and use those other tips from above, and you can have your best holiday season ever this year. This podcast is a valuable resource for anyone seeking to make meaningful changes in their life. I'm here to support you on your unique journey, offering guidance and encouragement every step of the way. There will be new episodes on the second and fourth Wednesday every month. Please follow on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss any episodes. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to today's episode on holiday survival tips. Remember, you can get through the holidays the way that works best for you. I wish you and your loved ones the happiest of holidays. As we wrap up, here's the thing. I've made every mistake. I've literally been there and done that. It's one step at a time, and you'll get there. There's hope. You've got this. If you're struggling in a relationship and wondering if it might be controlling, you're not alone. Download my free PDF at locatecoaching.com/free gift to help you find clarity and confidence. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon.